some first impressions on this thing. I just shot my video on a tool bag, but I want to just kind of take it out of the box, take a quick look at it. We'll go in more depth about it. This is the Fieldpiece wireless SC660 clamp multimeter. We're going to take it out of the box. We're going to see it because I know it's going to be bigger. It's a larger size meter, but we're going to get a little bit more in depth. But we're going to just take it out and take a look at it right now. Alright, we have our certificate of conformity. That's, you know me, I love to be a conformist. I'm going to have to burn that sucker. I'm sure it means something else than what I'm thinking. We have Fieldpiece is on YouTube. Hey, look, Fieldpiece is going to be on YouTube right now. Some other stuff. You know, you had the job link, but they had the old system analyzer as well. You can see that thing. I've never owned it, but I know a few guys. I think Fritz had that thing. I'm not sure if anyone else did on YouTube anyway, but I guess it's still around. And we have our instructions, operator's manual. You know, we need that shit, right? We can just get right onto it. I'm sure we'll come back to it. It's got the old Fieldpiece bag, you know, same old in that regard. My meters end up coming out of the bag after a while. Take some of the stuff out here. See what else we got. Alright, so what we got right now, we have these Alligator Clips. Same old, the ones I actually use now on my meter over here, the SC57. And you can see it's sitting right over here. Two of the K-type temperature probes, little air probes. You can put wherever you want, get your air temperature, return supply, whatever you need. Little straps, you can organize your gear. And you have these little deals you can wrap around, cinch things tight. I don't typically use those either, but you know, we'll see. And let's see if the leads are the exact same. Now I got these leads here, and these ones, my other meter, these look like the exact same as my previous models. And little tips you can take off, replace them with the Alligator Clips, and then you can take these little tips off as well to expose a longer probe. This is for more intricate work where you don't want to be shorting up against anything else. Let's compare the sizes. I'm going to unplug these leads off my other meter. And you can see that the SC660 is a big dog. Look at that bad boy. Let's see. That is a big dog. Here, let me get a tape measure and we're going to measure the difference. Alright, we got the SC57. The whole length, counting the clamp, is right about 10 inches. Maybe a hair above 10 inches. And the width, counting the clamp up here, is right around 2.5 or so. Thickness, 1.5. So let's compare that. Let me take these out. It's definitely bigger. I'll be damned, that thing's huge. We have 11 inches. So we're comparing about 10 inches to right over 11 inches. So it's going to be just a little bit over an inch taller for the Fieldpiece 660, SC660, than the SC57. The width, counting the clamp, we're looking at right around 3 inches. So it's quite a bit wider as well. And the thickness is going to be just a hair short of 2 inches. And this one was, you know, a hair short of 1.5 inches. So it's going to be bigger for sure. Definitely a bigger meter, much larger. Now, is that a negative or positive? That really comes down to what's in your tray, how much room you have. Are the features on this one going to outweigh the size differences? And it probably so. When I looked down at it, I was pretty excited to see all the features that were on this one. This one has a swivel head, just like the SC57. Swivels back and forth, which is kind of nice. They both have the little lights. You know, there we are. There you go. There's some comedy too. This one doesn't have the magnet on the back. The SC660 does have the magnet. And keep in mind, this is my first look at it too, so there might be some things I miss, but we're going to get into it as we go by. As a magnet, you can just leave it hanging up. Well, that's pretty cool. You look on the side, you have a max, min, and hold on my 57, and the 660 has an inrush. So you're going to be able to get inrush amps with this meter. let's see, we have volts, amps, and hertz right here on this first one. And another good thing is we have a double level display, meaning that we can see volts and amps on the same display, which is nice. That's something my previous meter had that I really missed when I transitioned over to the SC57. Now, I like the fact that it was wireless, but I was upset by the fact we no longer had that dual display. So we go on the next one down, we have 400 amps AC, so I guess there's different grades of amperage. You're going to use different settings. We have volts DC and amps DC as we go around. We have hertz and duty cycle. So the Southwire had hertz and duty cycle. The 57 does not have duty cycle, but this one does, the 660. So there's some new features on here. It looks like it's going to take the good stuff about the Southwire meter and combine it with what we already have with the 57 in a little bit larger package. We have microamps DC for testing our flame sensors. We're going to have an L1, L2, L1, L3, and I guess that's our three-phase rotation. Want to read more about that? We have T1, T2. Now this is a good point too. Now we have a meter that has two K-type connections. Now that might mean, does that mean that instead of having like the subco here in the tool bag, with our two connections, can we reduce it down to this meter? Now we have to think about that one, because sometimes we're going to be taking measurements on the 2K type and be using this meter to receive information, so we might not do that, but we might. I'm not quite sure yet. That's one of the things we'll get out in the field, we'll kind of discover as time goes by. So we have receive. That's going to sync up with some of our accessory heads, and we're going to test the distance on this one. As we know, if you're watching the Pro channel, the distance on the SC57 so far has been very good. We have 400 estimated feet out in the open, and I've done 2 or 3 jobs in the last week or so where I've tested it through walls. We haven't lost connection yet, even though I've walked to the edge of the people's yard and things of that nature. So we're going to continue testing that. We have microfarads. We're testing our capacitors. We have, looks like a diode test, continuity, and ohms. So the diode test wasn't on the SC57, it was on the Southwire. So literally it's like taking the 2 meters and you're getting the best of both worlds, albeit in a larger package. So it's pretty cool. We have some buttons down here. We have the sync button. We have the sync button right here. We have a range. I'll see if that's our amp and volts range or what that is right there. I have to look a little bit more about that, but we're just getting our first looks here. We have a 0 amps DC. I don't know if that's just zeroing out the microamps or what that's doing. And then our HMM down here, which we'll have to read about as well. So let me take a quick peek, and we'll clear up those right away so I can move on to the next topic. But I want to see what those 2 buttons are all about. We'll read about it real quick and I'll get right back. All right, guys, we have our 0 ADC. And that turns our light on, and even the dial is lit up so you can see it in the dark as well. So that's kind of cool. Is that going to be super useful? I don't know. I don't know how dark the environment is going to be, but it's going to be nice to be able to see those things if I need to. If like you're in a basement and lighting is low, if you're in one of those broom closets where they stick an air handler, that might come in useful. So we have that, and the range button is going to switch us from auto ranging to manual ranging. And looks like that switched from microfarads to, I want to say nanofarads, is what the NF stands for. And we have our HMM, which for some reason I went brain dead, but it's very obviously hold, max, and min. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. It's very sad. But there's the quick look on the SC660. Looks like it's going to be a cool meter. Let's see how much an effect the size difference has on day-to-day service calls. But right now, I'm going to say I'm pretty excited about using this thing. We're going to do some more testing with some of the accessory heads, and then we'll get into the job link eventually down the road as well. But this is just the first look at the SC660.